we will be reducing our emission of CO2 by 278 million tons by 2030. That 278 is equivalent to today's emissions of Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Oman.
Saudi Arabia doesn't have a booming car industry like some countries. However, the rise of electric cars allows electric vehicle companies to enter the market. As a country heavily relying on oil and high carbon activities, Saudi Arabia aims to expand its focus towards sustainability. The Middle East is changing, and the EV industry can help Saudi Arabia stand out. Instead of competing with an already crowded market, they can focus on the future of cars. Saudi Arabia is looking to this and wants to become a leader in EV manufacturing by producing 500,000 cars by 2030. So today, let's talk about Saudi Arabia's efforts to switch to EVs and how one company is helping them achieve its sustainability goals. Saudi Arabia is investing big in the electric vehicle industry. They've already spent $2 billion to acquire a majority stake in Lucid Motors, a US-based EV maker. But that's not all. In January 2023, they signed a deal with California startup Canoo to distribute their vehicles nationwide. Saudi Arabia is serious about making a name for itself in this field. As Monica Malik, chief economist at Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, noted, they're using their financial power to establish their presence in the broader industry. Malik suggests that Saudi should invest in an already established sector rather than starting from the ground up. This sector is gaining popularity worldwide and is relevant to the energy transition narrative, so it's also smart for them to jump on board and support it. When Canoo and Saudi Arabia made a deal, GCC Alliance noticed that the country wanted to invest in eco-friendly transportation. They know that more people in Saudi Arabia are looking for sustainable ways to get around, especially since the launch of the Saudi Green Initiative and the goal to reach net zero emissions by 2060.
It's a good thing that we've waited, because I think we've waited for the right type of car, an electric vehicle, and for the right model, which is the Lucid Air.
The Saudi Green Initiative, or SGI, aims to enhance the standard of living and guarantee a dependable energy source and other sustainable solutions in the Middle East. This initiative aligns with the Middle East Green Initiative, and together they act as accelerators for a more eco-friendly future. EVs have a role in SGI's carbon emissions reduction efforts. SGI aims to reduce 278 million tons of carbon emissions annually by 2030. This target represents 50% of the country's power generation emissions during that period, and using EVs can help Saudi Arabia achieve a more sustainable energy mix. So, it's an essential part of the country's initiative. Right now, the country is making impressive strides in moving away from relying heavily on oil. About 150,000 households are now using clean energy, and the country's power grid has been upgraded to handle approximately 700 megawatts of capacity. There are also plans to construct 11.4 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity. In fact, 13 new renewable energy projects were announced in 2022, further emphasizing their commitment to clean energy. Saudi Arabia is situated next to a big international hub, the United Arab Emirates. It plans to keep investing in sustainable solutions but needs more people to start using electric vehicles if it wants to see the full advantages of this shift. The government is already working on wind and solar projects, green hydrogen plants, and carbon capture sites to make energy more accessible. Furthermore, Lucid Motors is aiding Saudi Arabia's shift to electric power in its grand scheme to dominate the automobile industry. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, or PIF, is the cash powerhouse of Lucid Motors. The PIF already owns over 60% of Lucid and has promised to buy up to 100,000 EVs from the automaker over the next 10 years. The energy-rich Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is teaming up with Tesla rival Lucid Motors to establish itself as a hub for manufacturing electric vehicles. The kingdom has set an ambitious goal of reducing its dependence on oil revenue, and to achieve this, Lucid Motors has agreed to produce 150,000 cars per year in Saudi Arabia by 2025. This accounts for a significant portion of the production target set for the hub within the next 7 years. The $600 billion public investment fund oversees the kingdom's efforts to become a major player in the EV manufacturing game. They're pouring in a lot of money to make it happen. They've already invested around $2 billion to acquire a majority stake in Lucid. This move is part of Saudi Arabia's grand plan to reduce its dependence on oil revenues, which currently account for most of its income. Over the past year, Saudi Arabia made some serious money selling oil. They made a big profit because the price of crude oil went up in 2022 due to Russia's war with Ukraine. In November, their state-owned oil company, Saudi Aramco, saw their profits increase by 39% thanks to that price increase. Now, Saudi Arabia wants to start investing in the electric vehicle industry. By doing this, they can create new jobs and teach people new skills. This is part of their plan to take advantage of the EV sector's expected growth, partly because of climate change initiatives. Lucid plans to set up its factories in King Abdullah Economic City, which will serve as the central hub for its supply chain operations. The primary focus of this EV startup is to streamline its manufacturing processes for maximum efficiency. In addition, recent rumors about Saudi Arabia's PIF taking over Lucid have caused a significant surge in the company's stock prices. We want to take a moment to thank you for sticking with us. If you're interested in learning how Saudi is expanding its EV transition efforts, keep watching. Like and share if you're enjoying this video. The Saudi Energy Ministry has also finished creating the legal structure for deploying electric vehicle charging stations. The Saudi Ministry of Energy collaborated with other government agencies and the private sector to release rules for installing electric vehicle charging stations. The regulations aim to guarantee top-notch standards, effectiveness, and safety for users and stations all over the kingdom. The Ministry of Energy's infrastructure crew handling EV charging stations reported finishing all legal, organizational, and technical requirements to manage the kingdom's EV charging market. They even laid out the necessary regulations for setting up charging stations and their gear. According to the ministry, the fresh rules will aid the kingdom in accomplishing its Vision 2030 objectives. These guidelines will enhance productivity, increase private sector participation, and establish future-proof new sectors. By doing so, they'll create high-quality jobs for both men and women. Additionally, car owners will be able to charge their vehicles with ease and guarantee quality and efficiency. The ministry highlighted that the project demonstrates how government systems work together to ensure EV charging stations are safe and effective. They also ensure that the stations follow the Saudi Arabian distribution code and that the electric distribution network system remains reliable. The ministry is also supporting the use of innovative technology in the system. The team collaborated with SEC, the electrical distribution service provider, to set up a system for handling requests for electric power delivery to EV charging stations. The system is called the Electric Vehicle Charging Gate. Interested parties can apply for it through SEC's online platform. Once the qualified contractors are chosen and the EV chargers are installed, the stations can receive electric power. However, the statutory procedures must be completed first to ensure the chargers are properly connected to the electrical distribution network. The team in charge of infrastructure also made it clear that they plan to keep an eye on this activity. They want to ensure everyone follows the rules and laws correctly and that investors meet the requirements for setting up charging stations for electric vehicles. And they'll be monitoring everything closely to ensure everything goes smoothly. Saudi Arabia appears to be taking swift steps to increase the number of electric vehicles in the country. And the exciting part is that their government is taking the lead in this effort. So, will Lucid Motors help make Saudi Arabia the top EV hub globally soon? Why Saudi selected Lucid over other leading EV makers? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section below. And while you're at it, make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons as well. Now, if you want to know more about Saudi Arabia and Lucid Motors, then make sure to click and watch this video right here and enjoy. And that's the end of this video, guys. See you next time.